Today we are going to learn how to return the back any value or text from a table or range of data. For example, here we have a sales table from October 2020 to October 2021. If we are manually looking for sales of Department A in October 2020, that wouldn't be difficult, because it easily can be spotted. But imagine if you have a bigger list of data for more departments and more months. For sure, it's going to be more complicated, and it's not going to be easy to spot your value or to return the value you are aiming to get. Also, there will be a high margin of error if you are manually searching through this large data range to return the value you are aiming to get. So, what can we do in order to get a quick, accurate results from this data table? Let's start exploring some basic functions in Excel. The first function we are going to learn today is the index function. The index function returns the value of an element in a table or array selected by the row and column number indexes. So basically, it's like you are providing the function with the row number and column number within a selected range. Then the function will return the data inside this location. So let's see how can we apply this function to get the sales value for a specific month and a specific department. Also, in a little, we will show how we can link this function with specific cells, so whenever we change the content of the cells, the result will be dynamically populated. Let's first dig a little into this function, to know how we can write it and how we can use it. We will start by typing index. The first argument we need in this function is the array. I heard this example once and I really liked it. Imagine that the array in the index function is a map, and the value you are looking for is the destination you are heading to. This destination has XY coordination on this map. We need to provide our index function with that XY coordination. Then the function will return the location, which is the result that we want to get. Here comes the purpose of the next two arguments, which will represent the XY coordinations for our destination. So the second argument in the index function represents the y-axis, which should be the row number. The row number is the order of the row that contains your value within the specified range or array you select. So here in this range or array, as you can see, we have 8 rows. If we are looking for this cell value, y coordination is row number 1, thus we are going to type 1. Then we will move to the third and the last argument, which is an optional argument. This argument represents the x-axis in our map. The x-axis in our map represented here by columns. So, the column number is the order of the column from the left side to the right side. So here in our case, we need column number 3, correct? Because the order of the column that contains the result we are looking for is in the third column from the right side of the sales array. So we are going to type 3 and close our function. As you can see, we got exactly the result that we are looking for. After we understood how the index function works, we need to find a way to make this function automatically locate both the column and row number, thus every time we look for a result, we don't need to manually type the row number and the column number. Let's do it here in this example, using these drop-down lists to change the department and the month, to get the corresponding sales result. So, as we said, index function works as a map, so we need to provide XY coordination in order to get our result from the array. Let's start typing our function here. So, we type index. Then we add the first argument, which is the array that contains the sales results. So we select this array, correct? Now we need to provide the coordination or XY coordination. So, as we said before, the first coordination is the y coordination, which is the row number where my result is located. But the question here is, how can we make this dynamic, so that whenever we change the department from here, The row number will change as well within the formula. Here's where it comes to the second function, which we will learn today, which is the match function. The match function searches for a specified item in a range of cells and then returns the relative position of that item in the range. For example, if we are looking for Department C. So the match function is going to return number 3, because the department is the third item in that column. Same if I'm looking for Department B, so it's going to return 2, because Department B is the second item in that column. So the match function here is going to provide me dynamically with the y-axis coordination. So, let's see what arguments are needed to make the match function works. The first argument is the lookup value. Our lookup value here should be this cell, which contains the department name. So whenever we change the department name, the function will look up for the new variable. The second argument is the lookup array. Means the range of items that contain the item we are looking for. In this case, it should be the range of departments, correct? The next and the last argument is the match type. The match type can be an exact match, or less than, or even greater than the value we are looking for. So, in our case here we are looking for an exact match, correct? So we will type 0. Now, after closing the match function, we should be able to provide the row number to the index function, once we change the department name. Now let's move to the last argument in the index function, which is the column number. In order to get the column number, we are going to use the same function, which is the match function. So, we will type match, and the first argument will be the lookup value. Our lookup value here is the date, which is in this cell. The next argument should be the lookup array. The lookup array here is this row, that contains all the months of our data. The last argument is the match type. So again, our match type will be an exact match. So we will type 0, then we close our function, and close also the index function. And here is our result. As you can see, the result is correct for Department A, for the month of November 2020. So, for example, if we change to December 2020, we shall see the same result as we have in our data table. Also, if we change the department name, we shall see the corresponding sales for that department and that month. As we can see, it's completely dynamic now. We can change the month, we can change the department name, then we will get the result from our data table. In our first example, we were able to find the correct result, but for only 2 values, which are the department name and the month name. Now, let's see how we can apply or spread our function in a report and get the sales results for all these months and departments. So, let's start typing our function. The first thing we type is the index function. Then Excel is guiding us with the needed arguments, so the first argument is the array. Again, our array here is the range where we have our sales. Then we need to provide the row number, so to get the row number again as we just did before, we will use match. So, let's type the match function. The first argument is the lookup value. Our lookup value here is the department, so we are going to select this cell. Next argument, where are we going to find this value? It should be in the range of the departments. So, let's select it. Then we need to provide the function with the match type. So as we just did before, it should be an exact match. So we type 0 and close. Then we type comma to move to the next argument. The next argument here should be the column number. To get the column number, we are going to use again the match function. So, let's type match. Then, the first argument should be the lookup value, which is this month. So, let's select it. Then, the next argument is, where are we going to find this value? So this value can be found in the range of months. So, let's select it. Then we must select the match type, which is an exact match. So we add 0, and close the function. As we can see, here is our result. Now, let's drag our function into the empty cells in the report to get the results for each department for all these months. But now once we drag this formula, we can see that we have errors and wrong values. Why do we have this problem? Let's have a look at our function and see why we have errors. As we can see here, the range was moved down once I dragged down my function. And if I check the next error, I can see that the ranges were moved down as well. So basically, those ranges must be fixed in order to avoid any errors or inaccurate results. So, let's fix our range of data. Let's select the range. Then we click F4 from our keyboard to fix this range. So, now the sales range has been fixed. Now, let's move to the next argument that must be fixed. For the department cell, we needed to move only vertically, not horizontally, when I drag my formula, correct? To do that, we must fix the column. To fix the column, we need to add a $sign before the column letter. Let's add it, and move to the next item that must be fixed. The next item is the range of the departments. We select it. Then we click F4 from the keyboard to fix it. Now, we need to fix the month cell to move only horizontally, not vertically, so whenever I drag the formula down it remains in the same row, but when I drag the formula horizontally, it will move with me. To fix this, we must add a $sign before the row number. Let's add it, then we move to the next item. The next item is to fix the range of dates. So we select all these months and click F4 on the keyboard. Now, let's test our formula. Let's drag our formula down. Then to the right side. As we can see, there are no errors or wrong results. Now, let's cross-check our results. So, Department B, for the month of January 2021. As we can see that the result is correct, we have the same value as we have in the data table. Now, the last thing to take care of, when you use the index and match combination, the range of rows and the range of columns must be always equal and matching the range of the data. So, for example, our months cannot be less than the range of data, as well as the department's range. And take care, because we might get a result, but it will not be the correct result. So, after changing our ranges here, we can see that, for example, Department C, for the month January 2021, the result is not correct. Why the result is not correct? Because the ranges of columns and rows are less than or greater than the range of data or not even matching. So let's fix it as it was before. Finally, our report can return correct and accurate values from our data table even if we change the departments or the months. It should be dynamically working. I wish this video was clear and helpful to make you understand the useful combination of the index match to look up and return a result by using two-way criteria. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you for watching, and have a great day ahead.